Hello and welcome back to the channel here. I've got a 4 versus 4 game here on Wayland, which is got a bit of a central hill here. For a lot of players it rises up quite high and full of resources, and it seems to be like a lot of pretty much all the holocrons are here, all 5. So big objective focus in the centre, but in the corners, lakes as well with lots and lots of fish. So a lot of interesting stuff that players can do on this map if they want to play around that. And starting here, we've got Soup here in the purple with the Galactic Empire. We've got RVA as his wing here, and the Imperial Remnants, so the Imperial guys on that side. The other side of things, we've got Smoky Venus here, SY in the Resistance in the grey. And then we've got the Republic here with Lucky Ashman in the orange. And then on the other team, we have Captain Arnie here in the blue with the Trade Federation on the wing. His Pocket Hunter here in the red with the Confederacy. The other side of things, we've got Attack in the green with the Black Sun, and then we've got Russian Blunt here in the yellow with the New Republic. So as I said, a lot to focus on in the centre, a lot of resources to play around there, and then you can get some pretty good fish booming going on in these lakes. And some players kind of start quite close to them as well. Seems a little bit arbitrary about who's closer though. Don't know. Is it maybe like one pocket, one wing per team? I don't know. Like Attack's very close. I'd say Arnie could have been a bit closer with the spawn. Like RVA is here on this side as a wing. And then Smokey's quite close as well. I don't know, maybe it's just going to vary, I suppose, by how the map spawns and how far the lakes stretch out as well. Because you can see that they're not in a... They don't spawn as like a block like in Cross. They have a little bit more, I suppose, realism to them. They got a bit more of like an interesting shoreline, the way it snakes in. And in the food department, a couple of flumps. Very low amount of nerfs. Quite a few flumps actually. Getting on to 4 flumps. That's pretty good to keep you going, and then you can just switch into maybe going for the fishing. I would imagine that the more people play this map, that more and more they would use the lakes, to the point that even like the pockets that might be kind of far away would be like strutting down for it. And then you might see people, you know, muck around with that and try and do like sneaky shipyard with a power droid to make some frigates or something like that, which would be interesting. I don't know how successful it would be though, because if you ended up with having like your wing and pocket, you know, like as a team with a shipyard each in the lake, you'd have kind of 2 production versus that 1 shipyard. I suppose you could share a power core as well, which is something they could maybe think about cutting some corners, but you have to play the map quite a lot to start, you know, fleshing ideas and things like that out. And I think that this one's quite, and this one and Cross are quite different from a lot of the other maps in that regard. Because there's not the same amount of risk either, right, to the lake. Because it's not connected to like a body of water that your enemies tend to have, you know, easy access to. So Soup going for food processor here. Arnie Trade Federation, there's a troop center down. Does have his carbon. Question is, what came first, the TC or the carbon processor? It's a chicken and egg scenario here. I would say probably the carbon processor. And you can see he's going to double up here, like building a troop center in range of the water, which is a good idea, because then when you build the power core, then you can immediately fish after it. And TF's going to be pretty good on this map. One for that quicker mountie, but also when you start building the trawlers, you don't have to make any houses, right? That's usually when people tend to get housed, is when they start adding that extra production in the shipyard, because they're not used to it. Because you're now making 2 things at a time, and in Arnie's case, if he keeps up his rush, he'll be making 3 things at a time. And Lucky Ashman sending a worker down here, not too sure why. And is Mountie going to get the first hits onto Arnie's here? Arnie going to have to try and take that trade and then rely on the second Mountie to win it. But I think he'll, more often than not with Ashman, he never makes enough Mounties. And I think after a couple of shots, this Mountie wins. Because Ashman only really got like one tick of an auto attack, see 5 HP. Has he just misrallied his workers here? Is he trying to keep the Mounties away from his base? Hard to say. Power Core and Troop Center coming down here. RV kind of just walled in though. Some light walls and prefab shelter. He's going to favour just fish booming here. Getting that shipyard down. Arnie running, I imagine this is the low HP one, it's only 5 health. Ashman's kind of following it with a scout though. It'd be quite cool if you like got the snipes on it. It's like, what, 2 auto attacks from the scout maybe? It being 3 damage. Unless their armor accounts for it, I'm not too sure. I need to watch here. 2 damage. So you need 3 autos. And Smokey helping out with his scout down here on Ashman's side, and Arnie kind of just falling back. But I mean, what Arnie's achieved though is just like the peace of mind that he's not really being mounted or messed up here and he can just focus on his fish boom. And he's quite happy enough to pull his troopers back and start building some normal troopers, pumping out the trawlers from 2 shipyards here. Smokey got a little bit of some fishermen here while getting into the lake. But Soup, on the other hand, not in the water at all. Hunter, not in the water at all. And I think everyone should probably be getting into the water. I think in the current meta, well, this is a good trade for Ashman. With the anti-air troopers getting buffed, I don't know if like they're going for like the super fast fighters without fishing is, I don't know if the window's really there for you to do enough damage to make it worth it. That would be my view. So you should probably always lean into the fishing. Ashman got kind of a lot of control here. And he's still T1, and Ashman very likely still T1. Very similar here. Problem is, Ashman's going to get outscaled here. And Arnie, to be honest, if he wanted, could actually add more troop centres. They're going to have a very interesting fight here. The trooper recruits and Mountie. Ashman not paying attention though, and that's his differential just gone because he wasn't paying attention. And Arnie's just going to win this trade so easily. Like with not a loss. Quite poor, to be honest, from Ashman there. And now in 10 hours, he's going to have this pressure in his base. So he needs to watch out for that one. Montada to you, probably, says RVA. As he's walled the Mounties out of his base. I don't really see any. Oh, there's one. Just one. That's not really enough to trouble anyone, even if you're on the pocket. Maybe it takes 2 workers out of commission, one to slap at the other to repair them. Alright, trying to get around, but Ashman looking at a stall with some walling here. Building these prefabs. I think he used an extra one that he didn't need to there. Could lose these workers though if Arnie paid attention. Arnie going round. I wonder if he could have just walled here though. And there's that Mountie. He's managed to get 3 workers. Getting slapped by 2. Not repairing this one though. Oof, the last possible moment there. The Mountie will die in a moment. Oh, what happened here? -3 nerfs. Bad times. And who's king of the fish booming right now? It's going to be Arnie, right? That TF double shipyard pumping away. 55 workers. You can see where it's translated the most is into the carbon. Because so much of his econ, like all his food, is probably entirely the trawlers. So that means all the workers are on carbon. And it's going to give him a lot to play with when he hits tech level 3. You can see that the buildings are down. Just clicking the button up now. We've got a little bit of pressure here with these troopers as well, which should keep Ashman in the pocket off of him until he gets to T3. Should be good for him. On the other side of things, it still looks pretty quiet. RV just sort of fishing, turtled up here. About to hit T3. Soup is T3. Russian Blunt on the other hand. Almost T3. A bit of a wall going on here. Well, quite a lot of it out here. He's actually quite clever with his walls. Walled all the way to that central area, which is it only tends to have like a few paths here. You see attack, getting some gates down in the centre bit. Trying to limit the movement through it. There's a lot of resources to grab up there. I think see people get on there early-ish. But I feel like we've got kind of a reluctance because of air in GBG to do things like that, which would be quite be like the first thing to do in like the Age of Empires. A lot of people would play around just getting a town centre and then a fortress or something, you know, in the centres of those like Gold Rush maps and what have you. Soup getting in here with the strike mech. There's a mech factory for Blunt, but Blunt's almost looks like he was trying to fast T4 or something. He's like halfway there. But he's got a lot of units coming his way, like strike back, air, double air base. This is a little bit of a disaster, and gonna need some help here. Got attack as his pocket. Attack only just getting a second air base here. Too busy building things up in the centre. What's RVA up to here? Is this going to be Holocrons? Yeah. He does have Republic on the team, but he's swiping them. I suppose on a map like this you know exactly where they are, so a lot of people will be playing for them quite early. Quite a bit of air here from Hunter. Looks like SY has managed to keep Lucky Ashman from completely dying, but looking quite low. Him and Blunt are not having a good time here. The rivals. You can see that air from RVA now as well, piling on. And attack needs to come and help him with that. He's sitting hitting the strike mech with his fighters right now, which is going to give RVA the opportunity to just click on his fighters, and then things get worse. It's very poor play. Now it's 6-7 fighters here for Russian Blunt to deal with, and you know, he probably would have been prepared for the RVA stuff, but he got hit by the pocket first, and now he's struggling. RVA getting another Holocron. Attack has vision of it, but he's not really got the units to do anything about it. Those fighters spilling over into his lands now. And SY looking to run his fighters down and harass Arnie's boats here, but pretty easy to just get some anti-air destroyers here. And I mean, Arnie's gonna have this like all to himself. He's already fished half of it. A lot of vision, pretty much playing to protect that fortress down here between his two Novas. And wonder what he'll get up to. Could maybe go destroyer droids or something like that. Does have a troop center to get the upgrades for it. Oh, there we go. 2 destroyer droids waddling over, or rolling over. Keep rolling. Turrets here, then they zone them out. Wonder where they're off to. Maybe they go into the pocket. I wonder if they're too tanky against like fighters. hard to say, I haven't really seen much of them after the change. And the idea of giving them shields is to make them just a bit more relevant early on, because like the limiting factor is like they're really expensive. They've got great damage against like everything though. I wouldn't expect them to take much damage from the command center. It's because of the way that shields work. I'm curious about how much damage to take from a fighter though. Maybe you need a bomber or something. I know MDs and grenadiers tend to be like the best solutions. It's a low amount. I'm not going to lose all those fighters there. Smokey looking pretty solid. Sort of king of the scores here. Arnie just overtook him right now as I said that. As if to prove me wrong. And research center down, so maybe on their way now. For that faster T4. Just reaching that point a lot sooner because of the early shipyards making those trawlers as extra workers. I thought I will kill them. Not super quick, but quick enough, I suppose. Bit of idle time though. Down that goes. Will he make it? No, he's not got enough health. Need a lot of shields, but not enough health. RV got a lot of air over here. That Russian's still on one command center, not fishing or anything like that. He's really not having a good time here. And then he's got RV as his wing. He's got a whole lot of the holos. 3 of them. I'm going to be killing off these sentry posts. Is there really another Holocron there? I'm really surprised. Did attack not get any of them? So he built this and never got one. It's a bit silly. Could have at least gotten 2 of them, I would have thought. Oh, RV's about to get denied. Surely. If Arnie's looking. He's on patrol, I think. He's come back though. That's very lucky. So it'll be a 4th Holocron for RV here. Gonna be pretty good going as this hits like a late game. And Arnie, bring some anti-air mobiles for the destroyer droids. It's kind of the only thing to worry about at the moment with him. There's not really been much ground forces out on the ground. This should take too long when he gets all the damage upgrades and get through these prefab shelters. You can see it's not like he's running around with like 10 of them, they are quite expensive. You can certainly afford quite more of them though. Got that heavy upgrade now. Getting the range. Trying to pump out all the war center upgrades for them. It's up to 10 range, so pretty good going. And be quite a strong early unit here. I think what you're going to want is mech destroyers. I think grenadiers are good, but the problem with grenadiers is they get like 2 shot by them. So I wouldn't want to use grenadiers. The grenadiers need a lot of upgrades. Like late game, they'll smash them with all their upgrades. But I think like the most accessible thing is going to be some mech destroyers and the tracking research. Probably some armor. And like a good amount of them. I mean, this is an expensive unit. You shouldn't expect to like win with like just 2 MDs or something. You should probably have like 4. And a lot of upgrades too. These guys have gone up 25 HP, 25 shield. RV is still killing sentry posts. But not much else. He's up to T4 now. Don't know if he's waiting for his fast fighter. I don't think he can go any further than that though with that civ. Is not an air civ, so I need to find a different thing to go for. I see 2 temples, 3 temples, maybe going for our masters. I wonder if Arnie should probably just take a break for a moment and build a cannon. Because I feel like he's got the means to absolutely kill Ashman, but the wall's really slowing him down. I'll get through it eventually. I'm surprised that Ashman's not building more walls. Keep stalling. But is he going to arrive at like a solution for this? I don't know. Smoky. A lot of people fighting over the sentry post in the centre here. I do see Arnie and Attack getting set up in the centre. So Arnie will be able to keep making these, because they're going to get all this extra Nova in the centre. And then maybe by the time that that's done, can have trade as well. So could just build destroyer droids really. In the void of good counters on this side and a solid enough player to stop him, should be able to have his fun with the destroyer droids there. But will they win this side quick enough? He's going to kill these command centers quite quickly with that +4 damage. Imagine the best thing right now that Ashman could have done is build a fortress. Force Arnie to stop making destroyer droids for a moment and get a cannon. But he might just walk all the way to the pocket now. He's got a lot of fighters. And Smokey here should maybe... I think maybe a good solution would be the attacker. I think the attacker would probably do decent damage. It tends to do decent damage to everything else in the game, so... maybe. I just noticed that Russian is not long for this world. Those Sith Masters we talked about coming in here converting things. And he's running his workers away. Not sure what Hunter's up to here. Losing some workers. Seems a little bit quiet this game. He's on the Confederacy. I wonder where the Magna Guards are. He has T4. He's never had any fishing though. So he's just playing a very normal game. A lot of cheap MDs out here for Smokey, but literally no upgrades. I mean, these are fully upgraded, so it's kind of silly to expect these to just win. They did kill one. But he's just going to walk past that location. I wonder if you just go attackers. Like he's got four air bases as well. It's a few AA mobiles, but if he'd been building them for a while, he'd have a lot of them, and then... I don't know if it would be enough AA mobiles. It kind of looks like Arnie just going to kill off his side here, because they're not too sure what to do. And meanwhile, Arnie's team getting very much set up in the centre. Soup and RV on the other hand though, Soup's got this area. And RV is killed off Russian here, but... Attack. We've got some walls here. He's not too much troubled by those masters. And they did get spaceports down here and everything as well, so the team can do some trading. See, Arnie's gotten started with the cargo freighters. And Sith, I don't recommend Sith Masters engaging this army. They could kill them very quickly. You can convert some of them, but they do take a lot of damage. We can't hide from them though. Let's get the converts off before he noticed. Didn't roll forward and one-tap any of them. A lot of it. Still so much Nova. Just munching it all here in the centre. 3 people mining this Nova Pile. 3 different coloured droids. Look at that colour. This looks like a game of Ludo right here. We just need we need Russian to get over here. We've got all 4 colours. And are we converting more of these destroyer droids? Definitely a weakness for them. Trying to engage them here. To be honest, that invisibility is actually really helping these, right? Because it's mucking up their targeting a lot. So Arnie gonna have to maybe introduce some bounty hunters or something. And RV joining Soup here in the centre. So they've certainly got something strong to play with in the centre here. Good civs that should complement one another with the way that they're playing them. And RV can make like those masters, and Soup can make a lot of these heavy mech destroyers. Got a few upgrades to go though. Missing 100 health. And maybe SY. He's still got his boats here. If you can maybe get some harvesters down with them in a little bit, we can sort of bounce back and reboom. There's a lot of carbon and stuff on the map. But attention should shift focus to the centre now for pretty much everyone. With them launching this attack, and we can see the Magna Guards are popping out here. It doesn't look like they got much upgrades though. Am I being deceived, or I've got the speed? None of the armor and damage. The armor is probably the biggest one for them, right? They are elites though. I think they're gonna die too quickly. I've already heard one die, so. You've got shields on these units too. They are pumping out though quite rapidly. And he's got +3 damage. This man does not own a war center. I'm hitting Control W. It doesn't exist. It's not real. And the master setup is still here. Assault mech's being built here. Not too sure about that. Can gladiator droids be converted? I don't know. I've never tried. I assume so. But a lot of Nova and Ore to play for. It's probably why our RV is so adamant to get this spot. He wants that ore. And SY is not so dead anymore, so... How's Ashman getting on? He's sort of walled his base in a little bit. He's almost alive by the grace of Arnie not wanting to full kill him. He just would have rather went and killed SY. So he could sneak back here. And Arnie might need to get off destroyer droids and get into something else. I mean, these are like 2 really strong mech destroyer civs. I would say assault mechs, but he's got a problem that there's so many masters out. Like air cruisers would be quite good, in all honesty, with this choke. These types of army. Not really much air. I suppose I've got to watch out for Smokey if he's still making them though. And good shield generator there. Some really good opportunities to just be cannoning a lot of this. Like this shield would go down. This one could go down as well, I think, from about here though. Assault mech and a cannon here. Really, that's a rare one, isn't it? Looks like it belongs in Warhammer, not GBG. Black Sun would be quite a good counter. Like Night Sister or Night Mother. And even their Jedi are very good. Or Jedi, their troopers are very good against Jedi here. I feel like Attack should be leaning into the strengths to help his team here and try and cancel out RVA's Masters. And that would leave them open for Arnie to be making Assault Mechs, and they could have like Assault Mech, Magna Guard, Night Mother. I think that'd be a very strong core there. Of course, got to remember that this is, with Ashman and Blunt, you know, as dead as they are, it's like a 3v3. It's almost a 3v2 with Smokey getting messed up there, but I think he's going to bounce back. He's going to make a full recovery. Never lost his boats. And Destroyer Droids are just not going to hold up here, right, with all the Night Destroyers. Arnie are going to have to work out a new unit to build, I think. Still has 5,000 Nova, but oh, these Masters are actually very sneaky up the top here. What's that from? That's actually kind of huge. I thought that was only for like knights and stuff. Where's that tech? It's not that. Is it just a racial thing? Yeah, temple. Oh, it's temple units. I thought it was just like the knights and stuff and the shadow troopers. But that's actually kind of huge on the Masters. I feel like they die quicker than this. So maybe that armor does mean a lot. Unless Destroyer Droids are just not as strong as I remember them. I mean, most of my knowledge of Destroyer Droids is like how good they are in scenarios and stuff like that. It's not a unit it would make often. Mainly just because of its cost. I do absolutely think it's a good unit though. Outside of that. And this is a strong push, just so many mech destroyers and like all these Masters here. And Soup can pretty much grab up all the Nova for himself. Arve has got the Holocrons. I thought you got a fourth one. Did you put it in a different one? Yeah. Doesn't want to have all his Holocrons in the one temple. Old Galactic saying that. Classic. And they're really barreling through here, but there's really just not been a good enough response. I see some good Grenadiers though. Grenadiers should get some good shots here. But the buildings are a little bit of a mess here. If you look at the surface area that Soup and RV have got to just displace their units across compared to on the other side. Like, Attack's got some real useless buildings here. Like, the command center has to go. The mech factory has to go. The troop centers are fine, because they're adding Grenadiers. But it should probably have some repeaters here. I feel like he should have some Night Mothers by now, just to help out with some conversions, like convert these cannons and stuff. Him and RVA should probably be doing a dance together, where they're trying to convert each other's, you know, Jedi or Night Mothers. And Hunter getting some good solutions here. We've got a bit of a meat shield and got some Grands. A lot of Magna Guards would still be if you can get like a big group of them. Like Magna Guards Grenadier should be one of the strongest ground forces, I think, like in this sort of early mid T4, because they're so tanky. And they would beat a lot of stuff on the ground. You know, where's Arnie? What's Arnie doing? Arnie may be feeling a bit hard done by. He's like, you know, he sort of killed my side, but look what's happening. Tonight, I don't even know if he's playing the game anymore, to be honest. More destroyer droids. It's a bounty hunter. He's got like 9k Nova, 170 pop. This is like it's like when I check attack, right? Yeah. It's pretty much 170 pop. But he's in the centre here fighting. There's a few units arriving from Arnie, but not the right ones. RVA he's going to be in his element here when he's got a unit that can convert things. He's an absolute serial Jedi abuser. Getting all the ore. This is going to enrage him though. 3 HP apiece. He could convert. If he converts. He's not going to miss this opportunity, is he? C click. No. The ore. Sad times. And unsurprisingly, still marching through here. Like, AC now as well. They're going to completely lose the centre, and it's quite bad because it's. You can pretty much go anywhere from the centre, right? But the way that carbon spawns and they built their player walls and stuff, the centre locks out a lot of the map. Alright, oh, he's awoken. It's assault mechs. But it's going to be tricky to keep them alive, keep them from getting converted. Do they? I think they do though, right? Yeah, he did good purge. Insta research. So at least can't get stolen, but they can get like deleted. I mean, the trade is up. He did have like a 9k Nova pool. If he gets enough assault mechs out between bounty hunters, should keep them alive mostly. I think while he waited though, I think he maybe should have made some air cruisers or something in the centre. Like, I think as a team they probably should just set up a strong static defense with some ACs, and they could have like stalled this army out for quite a while. It probably forced Smokey to actually participate with some interceptors or something like that. Now he's got some cheapo mechs here fighting destroyer droids and heavy assault mechs. World's most expensive army right here. Because I mean, at this point the destroyer droids do the same thing that a strike mech does, and the strike mech is insanely cheaper. Builds so much quicker, and so much more accessible. That's why this unit has just never been that popular. Because, like, why would it be when you can just make strike mechs? Just inching forward. Arvia seems quite happy enough to watch him build all these shield generators. You notice how much ore he's accumulated, and he's just saving it for a rainy day. He's letting Soup bankrupt. He's just an absolute ore hoarder. It's like he's here training Soup on the shield generator placements. He's coaching him every step of the way while he maintains his hoard of ore. It's hard to say those words together without saying whore. What's that classic, what is it? I don't get the noise of it. The ore, please. It's the oldest GBG joke. Ore, please. And the assault makes arrive here. They're going to absolutely smash that shield generator. Where are the masters? Are they out of position? Yeah, they are. They're coming over here, but they do lose that shield, so they're going to get pushed back just a little bit. I'm not seeing much support units for these, though. Conversions come in. They do just delete them, though. It's not going to disrupt the firing of the army or anything like that. It's not going to do any extra damage with the units being converted. And Russian Blunt, honestly, way more alive than Smokey here, really. Like, that's a strong... Why is he not up here? Like, I think if he gets involved here, like, they could... Yeah, he could totally smash this. I mean, it's like, what, 2 turrets? Some A-mobiles? Like, with everything firing behind it. He's got the interceptors to, like, cancel out the other interceptors as well. Like, I think this is quite strong. If everything rallies behind it... What is that micro, though? What are you, like, trying to get into melee mode? I think a little bit of indecision here. Why? How's it worked out that the interceptors are frontliner for these? Nah. He just needed to, like, patrol. And then all these units come behind. Like, there's so much, like, walking back and forth that... It's just a lot of wasted hit points there. I think that actually could have been like a bit of a breakout moment for them as a team, if they like played around that properly. See, it's like it's too much like tipping your foot in the water back and forth there. You need to attackers. You need to hard commit, I think. Yeah, they do or you don't. And now Smokey's kind of like hyper aware of the existence of such armies, and he's just pure interceptors now. And now Russian just going to have to be interceptors to cancel him out, but there's really not much here on the ground. A couple of assault mechs, a lot of cannons from Soup here. Soup's cannon mad. And SY and the Ashman, with a little bit of supervision from RVA here, or holding Arnie out here. RVA stealing Hunter's units. Classic worker dodging grenadier shots. Down he goes. Enough attacks focusing on the wrong things here. A few strike mechs and MD from Black Sun. Everything's been consumed. It just needs to be up in the centre, I think. I mean, like, as good as these civs are for mech, I think like these civs are really good for grenadiers as well. Like, Confed Black Sun should have been... Like, and you can get your trade set up, so that's usually the one problem that you have, is that you don't have the Nova. But I mean, that's food Nova, right? It's infinite resources at this point now, but you've got trade set up. And then with all the buffs Grens have had, like, you know, 70 health. What's the Black Sun ones? Has he even got any? Where are they? Local man, no Gran. There we are. They don't get extra. Or am I cooked? Oh, maybe they're just on par. Yeah, because like what we're disregarding is the unique tech of Confed. That's what it is. So above 70 health grand, so above the norm, right? They've got extra damage, the Black Sun ones. I mean, that should be good, like, in shields, as long as you've got front line. So you've got them heavy mech destroyers. Still think Magna Guards would be insane. Like for when they want to push like this, Magna Guards would be absolutely insane. Like as a front line. I don't think there's a lot of good stuff. Like you should probably have to like AC fire on them. Oh wow, he's spending some of his ore. Is he feeling okay? Oof, he spent 2,000 ore. And some annoying Mounties getting some damage here. Be great if he went for the power cores. I think that would be a really good move. If attack was just funneling like 30 Mounties here, you know, every so often, kill off power cores and stuff. Mess with the supply lines of this push. I feel bad for Hunter, he's kind of just on his own here, and it's not even like that strong of an army that he's got to hold this position. Now he's getting AC'd, so it's... Well, what can he do? There's Blunt coming up to try and kill these. He should get them. He could just box them and like shoot all 4 at the same time. Yeah, he gets those. I mean, I don't know if there's enough anti-air really covering those. It's like, what, 1 turret firing and mostly A-mobiles, and A-mobiles are just not that great compared to the turrets. Arnie's marching through here though. RV can't like, he probably needs to have some like temples on this side or something. Try and play around with it, but with the purge they'll just die, right? But I don't know if he can convert them all. There's a lot of bounty hunters here. And yeah, he's quite quick to pull back there. So he's only really stalling a little bit. Not really much anti-air for this army though. If SY leaned in, he's got some bombers here, that might be good. I was thinking maybe like 30-40 attackers would be the one, but... There's A-mobiles slowly rallying in here, and Arnie's definitely thinking the same thing. I don't have much anti-air for this army. But SY pulling back, it wasn't a lot of bombers, and... He's probably blown his window there, because he's made Arnie very aware of that problem. Arnie's probably sitting there like, good suggestion, SY, I will get more anti-air. RV now playing for this army, but they have broken through this, so maybe Soup can just take over things here and just conduct this push. Arnie sit back in the shield here. These mech destroyers don't have a shield though, they should die quite quickly, but there are some angles to convert more of these assault mechs, and it's going to feel that attrition because it's just trading faith for a unit. It is lose 2 though, he might lose more. But I think it's definitely in favour of the Masters there in terms of resources lost. And they're trying to hold here a little bit longer. Probably getting good value out of the Grands, but there's just never a lot of them. He's pretty broke. Attack's incredibly rich. Where are his units? There's some Night Mothers now. They're really late for this, like. He's got like 20k resources. Arnie's so-so, he's popped though, he's doing what he can. And SY pushing him back here. Big smoky Venus. Rare bomber sightings. Big amount of mech destroyers here. See the Grenadiers for TF though, they're always a nice little addition. Not as good as the pretty much most of the Grens in the game now though, in terms of hit points, but they've got like the damage upgrades and stuff. And they are a mech civ, so they should always have something in the front really. They've always got a meat shield, so. I'm trying to flank this position, some AC shots. Open up the carbon. Smokey trying to get in here. There's some interceptors from attack going to be chasing these down. Trying to get onto the trader. Looks like they've had some of their spaceports stolen somewhere. Converted down a lot of idols. Attack and Russian blunts. Gone idle there. That's mostly what it comes down to in these late game scenarios, is can you disrupt the trade? Be a lot more different than Age of Empires, I suppose, in that regard. I don't know if their games ever really go this long, though. Like, to the point that trade's like super relevant, right? They don't have like shield generators and stuff, though. They don't have air cruisers, and they don't have like their converting units are very weak. But that's the big thing that we have, is like the amount that you can commit to kill off spaceports is a lot lower. I think in Age of Empires it's probably like, what, a big, like 40 cavalry units or something breaking through and meleeing down the spaceport, whereas we just have one sneaky stiff boy slide in and convert the building and delete it. Good flank here from Arnie, a lot of assault mechs, a lot of bounty hunters, and the AC. Trying to get his team to not lose the trade here, because Russian Blunt is just up here killing them all with interceptors. And Smokey needs to shut that down immediately as the air guy in the team, but doesn't even win that trade, and Russian's going to keep killing more and more of these. RBA still has a huge bank of resources. And him and Smokey flanking this position from Arnie. The AC is going to be good for just attack grounding. Although, this is the move, right? Oh, you can't do that, is it? It's Purge, damn. Goddamn Purge ruining everything. But there, here comes Smokey, kill off that AC. It looks like they've sort of... morale is like heightened for Team Arnie, and they're pushing back. I think Arnie needs to come forward though with these units to tank for him. We could actually get some really good damage here. They've kind of burned out a bit. They don't have much here. And Hunter are actually going to be really good against Smokey here on the ground, these Grands. Like, there's less armor for the resistance ones. And like, this is going to just be a strong army against everything that they have, because they don't really have the firepower to match the assault mechs here, just the ACs maybe. A lot of A-mobiles. Could find some angles. A bunch of units displaced there. Oh, the lucky Ashman differentials, even doing something. Republic strike mechs and MDs at 1 hour 30. I think that's kind of become the issue, is that Russians actually proved quite helpful with his air and stuff. And Ashman, not so much. But maybe he's been doing some work up here. Maybe he killed the trade-off with the cruisers, maybe that's what it was. He's the unsung hero that I can't be following right now. Because I've kind of just forgotten he was even in the game for a while. He was that dead. And the conversions are killing off quite a few assault mechs. Got some A-mobiles trying to get those ACs. RV keeping them well back. So many traders here. Oh, here comes Smokey though. Gonna get a lot of kills here. That's a huge issue for these guys. Where's Blunt? There's some interceptors there. I think you could just go for the trade now. He's gone on staggered formation. It's unnecessary. It's too much for them to be distracted with there. There's like traders all around them. Practically a free cleanup there for Russian. RVA kind of converting more stuff here. Just exploding mechs just makes them explode. It's like that destroy droid tech in Cotter. And some of these units kind of zoned out a little bit by the pathing. Attacks popped on, like, what though? Where? Huh? I don't think I've ever seen him at max pop. Where's the armor though? Wait, some interceptors? I don't think he needs to be doing that. We just need like Night Mothers and Grenadiers off of him, I think. Wait, that's literally it. Grenadiers and Night Mothers. Like, I wish that Hunter could just like purely build Magna Guards, you know? And like, attack could just make Grenadiers. And then Arnie assault mechs, and I think that'd be damn strong. Rushing on the interceptors, and then they can just mix in ACs and stack defense and whatnot, bounty hunters and stuff each. It's like, as longer it goes, it just becomes like the guy with the Sith Masters is just outvaluing your guy who could have a lot of Night Mothers but just doesn't. He's only got like 2 and they were like chilling over here somewhere. I mean, like, do we do a deep dive here? What civ's even better? Like, is there... like Black Sun... So you got this more effective tech, which is exclusive to them. I don't know. I can't really remember too much what it does, if it's just makes conversions, like old conversions or something like that. Maybe it makes them happen quicker. It does get Purge. It does get Faith. He's got Faith, he just doesn't have Purge. Pretty much everything else but these two. I would have thought this one's quite good. And then what we've got... got Purge but no Faith. No range here as well, so you could definitely argue Black Sun absolutely should be smashing Imperial Remnant on the Jedi front, right? Like when you hit the point where you've got all your techs and that's a big differential, right? The range is huge. The conversion is more effective thing. I don't know enough about it. I'm sure someone will explain in the comments, but like on paper, that's huge though, right? When we hit this late game. Then you're able, like, because you've got that division of labour, you know, as a team. Like, you could focus purely on that. As I said, you would just be making Nova and food stuff. So Grenadiers and Night Mothers. There's the Night Mother. +3 range, by the way. Walks in and dies. Things are gonna settle down here. Classic. So RVA getting a lot of conversions here. And it's like there's so many now, and like the chokes and that, and the opportunity to punish these is very low. You can see switching to ACs galore. I think ACs is still very good. You're just gonna need like a lot of turrets around them maybe. But then it could hold. Like, you kind of need the ACs to attack ground here. Like, in the void of your teammate converting them, you need to, like, attack ground with ACs, probably. Kill off the masters. These mechs getting blocked by these converted destroyer droids. Classic. Should be some good grand shots here, I would have thought. Maybe you need some more shields. They're making MDs here. Oh, Smokey getting in on the AC action here. He's got a lot of interceptors to defend his. Oof, 5! 5 ACs. Gonna be some big deeps. Just attack grounding this choke, and that might honestly be it. Like, they're looking a bit sparse on units here. And it's like, is attack trolling or something? It's like the last possible moment he's doing what he should be doing. I don't know if his team's been trying to explain it to him or what, but like, it's kind of grim. And you'd be quite rightly feeling frustrated. Like, I mean, you're all getting together to play a game, and it's going quite long. You kind of want people to be pulling their weight, right? Taking it seriously. It's fine, like, memeing in like the early game and, you know, providing you're like getting some value out of it and stuff, but like late game you kind of need people to be like fulfilling their roles with what their civs are good at, you know, as a team working together. Otherwise, what's really the point? So I would be annoyed if I was getting converted for an hour straight when there's a teammate who's got like even better, you know, of units of that archetype. He could be helping out. And they're going to call GG here. I kind of just run out of steam, and I mean, they still got the trade in that, but to be honest, it looks like Ashman's actually being so annoying here. He's just sending cruisers in the pond, and Arnie's too busy to deal with it. He's like, they've lost like a lot of their trade. He's even got a Mounties here. He's actually the really annoying thing that's just biting them in the back now. So Ashman coming good at the end with his annoying antics. Does this count as a victory for Ashman and the blunt Ashman rivalry? The dead player versus dead player in a 4v4 bracket. Attack resigning. Who's still hanging in? Is it Blunt? Is it Arnie? So Team RV and Soup here getting the win with a little help from SY, Smoky Venus, and Ashman at the end there. Right, I'm putting an end to this. I'm not saying for someone to resign for 10 years, but yeah, GG, well played to all involved, and yeah, if you like the content, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel if you want to see more. If you want to get involved in these types of games that we play, we've got our GBG Discord, which you'll find the server invite in the description field. You'll find one for the Expanding Fronts mod server as well, which is the mod that we're playing here, which makes GBG better. And if you want to support the channel another way, there is a PayPal link down below if you want to buy me a coffee, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care, bye-bye.